Yo, 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 YouTube fans, how are you? No answer. There's never an answer.
There isn't, no. Rude.
If you could put in the comments, how are you? That'd be great.
Yeah.
I am Lucky Sixes.
I'm
This
Hyper G.
is
I'm Hyper G. You don't need to introduce me.
Hyper
I'm
G.
Hyper G.
This is the Gobbo.
Hello.
So let's do the opposite to the last one, really. But, yeah.
And we are here yet again for another army chat shindig, where we get right on down with the army books from the 9th Age lore, kind of? I don't know. Library. Anyway, to have a look at today's one is the Dread Elves.
Yeah.
They're not dark, they're dread.
Yeah, crazy really, because at the time of recording, they will be the next book.
Yes.
Next new book. But
They're
we're
currently
ignoring that.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But they're the new, they call it LAB, don't they?
Yeah.
No, FAB. Full Army Book. LAB? I don't know.
Huh.
There's
Oh,
loads
you
of
mean.
acronyms. If you like Ninth Age, you like acronyms.
Yeah.
That's a thing. That's a genuine
Like
thing.
Hyper G.
Yeah, PTG. Yeah, right. But yes, so this is another time when we get to just chat rubbish, as you can probably imagine from that intro, about army specific, what we like about it, what units, there will be a little bit units and things, what concepts we would think of, what they remind us of, and just general chit chat and stuff about that. It's not a review. It's never a review. This is just because we're not actually saying bad stuff about it. It's all good. This is like a promotion. Yeah. Well,
but all of the actual army stuff that we talk about is going to change soon anyway. So
exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly. So there's no point us talking about all the units and this is strength 3 and this is great and blah blah blah. So we're just going to talk about what we like and what we think of the book, and as a concept and as a hobby thing,
Absolutely.
more than anything. So yeah, if that's not what you're in for, get lost.
Don't you keep on doing that to our viewers. Be nice, be nice.
And if it is, stay tuned.
Yeah,
Right?
you're
And tell your
allowed in.
friends.
You're allowed in.
Yeah. There's a password. It's not.
So you're up first, Lucky Sixes.
I'm at first again.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
this
up
is
first again.
exciting.
Lucky you. Yeah.
So in terms of Dread Elf, so the perfect picture to start on. My sort of idea of it when you say Dread Elves and things like that is thinking about like the assassin and like the dickhead, right? So he's gonna stab you in the back. He's gonna slice you up. Everyone's gonna die. He'll probably die, but he'll like it. You know, he's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I really like the assassins in the shadows and things like that, and they, as far as I'm aware, and they probably still will, but they've got like an assassin type hero person as well to encapsulate that, which is really cool. He's awesome, but he dies easy-ish, and which I think that moved along the whole army is quite a nice thing. It's like the whole idea of we're gonna screw you up.
Yeah. Do you want to
the
know what
word I wanted to use?
Do you want to know what the assassin model is called in the book?
Yeah.
Assassin.
They've nailed it.
I couldn't resist.
They've got it down. Yeah. So right, it's still about but like it's the idea of the glass cannon. They're going to do some damage to you, but it might kill him afterwards if you survive. And that's what an assassin is, right? If you survive an assassin, he's going to be dead. It's the only way you survive.
Yeah.
But there's some cool models on assassins here as well. I got about 5. I got a bit obsessed by the end. I thought it'd be quite a nice idea to do like assassin models in each unit as well. Like having.
So you never really know where it is, like it used to be hidden.
Yeah, I guess that sort of idea. Yeah, maybe each champion is an assassin. Thought it'd be quite a cool idea. But then some of the units and stuff wouldn't necessarily be that different to the champion. But yeah, but these are just cool. I see that a lot with the Dread Elf things as well. Like on the last picture is a lot of the Dread Elf models have like remains of other factions on their bases.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like a running theme, like mainly heads, right? If we're going to be honest. But but yeah, like just like blood
down,
soaked. Yeah, that sort of thing. So like daggers as well. Daggers gives me an impression of a Dread Elf, like daggers and like blades.
Yeah,
that
sharp stuff.
They're just mainly infantry with that sort of just really good at combat and really just wanting to get into combat whenever they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I put quite a few assassin pictures in. Yeah, and these are all from the internet, so I have no idea who. These might be loads of really good promotion for people.
We should actually say, like, if you notice that one of the pictures we come up with in these army chats is your model, then put it in the comments.
Absolutely.
You're famous.
link to yourself.
Yes.
We'll remove it if you ask us.
Yeah. Honestly, you're famous amongst all 7 people that watch this.
If you didn't know that your models were on Google, then they are.
It's great. Yeah, right. Going into this one, the other concept I quite liked was that infantry-based combat thing. So and I really like the idea of like loads of blocks just marching at you, just going, we just want to kill you. We've got nothing else in life. This is all we want. And actually, when I sort of looked into that a little bit more with the models and things, you tend to get a lot more armored elves than a lot of the stuff, which is a bit of an odd one because I as far as I know, with all the concepts of it, is that the Dread Elves, so Sylvan Elves are like shooty avoidance as much as they can, and they're really, really like the most fragile of the elves, and will like try and dance around you where they can and have help from the tree elves to be sturdy. The high elves sort of like are probably the most armored based things and like the most grindy. The elves aren't grindy, but like the most grindy out of them because of all the avoiding damagedness. And the Dread Elves are just like murder,
yeah.
and I just want to kill. But actually, looking at the models and things, this is pretty armored for an elf.
Yeah.
Like with a lot of them have the headsets and the shoulder guards and things like that.
They're all made out of paper, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, right. It's all green stuff.
Yeah.
None of the models actually have it. Yeah. So, but an idea of having, as well as the assassins and just all the different skills and things, having like blocks of this melee infantry just coming at you, I think would be quite cool. And I think is used. I don't think it's an underused theme. I'm not sure the big blocks are in general for 9th Age the best thing because of the amount of other stuff that moves around everything. But I quite like the idea of it. And then when I looked at it, actually a lot of armor came about. So potentially, while the new army books come in, add a bit more armor to them. I think give them some staying power. I just like how cool that look.
Yeah.
Man. Bloody like Judge Dreads. What are they called?
Dread Judges.
Oh, right, sorry. Yeah. It's stupid name. They need. That's the first thing they need to do. Just change Dread Judges.
That's controversial.
Dread Judges. Are you kidding me? But actually, like the models and things are quite. Yeah, just. Yeah, I won't provide any solutions.
No, I was going to say.
I'll just tell you what you're an idiot for that. Calling him a Dread Judge, get out. And I'll just sack everyone. I'd be terrible.
Yeah. Guys, if you see that PTG has been shut down tomorrow, then you know that he's angered someone important.
Well, it's only some idiot calling him Dread Judge.
Alright, moving on. I like this.
But it looks cool. That's one of the concepts I quite like for the Dread Elves. I think
just to butt in on that one, I don't like the fact that all the swords at the same angle.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the model thing. Most of those models are exactly the same, though, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
I suppose they all are. Yeah. Gives unity, though, right?
If anyone comes from the left, though, they're buggered.
Yeah. But yeah, again, just like going down that thing.
Awesome.
I'm
really nervous about when my pictures are going to kick in.
Oh, because it's me, I've got a few more.
Have you got a few more? You know when your last picture is, do you? Oh, yeah. Thank God. Whew. Okay, cool.
Right.
Wow.
Next bit that's possibly the secondary of the Dread Elves thing. So after you get over that, I get over that, not you. You can do what you want, right?
Yeah.
But after I get over that idea of just infantry, just let's get into melee, let's kill you. The next one is like the menagerie type thing. Okay. So like having all the beasts that just again are just there to scare people and take all the things, so that the elves can actually get into combat. Just so that's a Beastmaster. This is a Hydra, and there's about 8 pictures of Hydras again because I got excited about Hydras.
Well, Hydras are amazing, aren't they?
Carcadans as well, is it? No, not.
No,
Carcadans.
You don't mean that. You mean
Kraken.
No, I've got it here.
Kraken, yeah.
Is it Kraken? Yeah, it's Kraken actually. Yeah. So like the big monsters and stuff that come with it, and actually to a certain degree the raptors, because you can have like the raptor chariots, because they're like the dinosaur type things, and like the monsters. Oh, the menagerie is actually. I haven't made that up. Oh, I was really.
No, that's a category, isn't it? Yeah.
That's actually the category in the book. So Kraken and the Hydra idea coming off of that. You've got the Manticores as well, I think.
Yep.
For the heroes.
Character mode.
And then like
a
the
lot
raptors.
of very Greek influences for all of their monsters, isn't it?
Yeah.
But so like, all of them really. But I guess the Sylvan Elves differ from that the most. But yeah, it is.
Well, mythology's got a lot of fantastical elements to it, hasn't it? So, you know.
Definitely, yeah.
You know, I think basically every myth is thrown into fantasy in some form. You know, you have to go a long way before you find a part of mythology that isn't included in some form of fantasy. So, and usually they're not included for a reason, because they're not that cool. I can't think of any to throw in as an example of that. But, they're in there somewhere. How many more pictures of beasts have we got?
There's about 32 Hydras. And then a Manticore. I think a Manticore is the last one of mine. There we go.
Nice.
That was a crisp one. I think that's Merce, actually. I've got a feeling that's Merce. Or Avatars of War, maybe.
Okay.
It's a Merce one, now.
Oh, it is Merce. Miss. Have I been pronouncing it wrong? Obviously, I have.
I didn't want to correct you.
Miss. But yeah, so like actually mixing those two, which I think is used quite a lot. I think the only, again, surprisingly, I haven't mentioned chariots, but actually, from what I've seen on a lot of the tabletops and stuff, is trying to use like the infantry-based stuff with these big, especially in terms of army concept, like these big like central points of monsters supporting them and flanking and being like the big diversion and stuff. Because if they get in, you're screwed, right? A lot of the time.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what makes me think of it.
Yeah, 3 concepts in one.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
all right. So on to mine. Assuming I'm the next picture, I think I am. Bit of a warning. Little bit controversial. You two kind of know what I'm coming up with.
I always knew this when we come to Dread Elves.
You predicted it, and I thought, shall I go with what you think I'm going to do, or shall I change it? And I thought, no, I'm not going to change it because that's what I think. So yeah, here we go. That's not too bad to start with, is it?
Safe. Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can't guarantee it will continue that way. So I basically see Dread Elves as the alluring side of elfdom, that if you like. I see them as a lot more standoffish in personality, more devious. Obviously, they're kind of evil in most themes. Dark colours, smooth, and looks can kill kind of thing with the Dread Elves. Obviously, the Highborn Elves and the Sylvan Elves, like they have their own personalities. But for me, Dread Elves is all about, like having an attitude behind it, a really evil kind of badass kind of attitude. And
like an arrogance. Yeah.
Absolutely. An arrogance that's different to the Highborn arrogance, though.
Yeah.
Because they're like in love with themselves and everything. Whereas the Dread Elves kind of like don't need to be in love with themselves because they are showing you they're better than you. they're not just expecting you to think that, but they're like awesome. And that partnered with the sexiness, the alluring side of it, is kind of my theme. And we're going a bit darker and deeper. And yeah, I kind of think that of all the armies, they're the ones that can display that devious, alluring side. Kind of in the same way of like the cult of pleasure and things like that, and the cults. I kind of think that a lot of debauchery and things like that are shown in cults kind of things. And yeah, these pictures are a little bit ropey. And
like the old Cultus and Ash sort of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And I kind of think this, like, along with the assassins and the sharp blades, the things that you mentioned, like, they're gonna hurt you, and they don't care about it, and they're gonna look good doing it. Is kind of like the theme that I'm kind of thinking. And so yeah,
it's like slick, right?
Yeah,
like, it's almost
absolutely. Like the blade won't just hit you; it'll go straight through you.
It's slice it, yeah.
And before you even know it, you've been hit. And I just kind of think that the way they look is fearsome in a sort of sexy way. And I think Dread Elves really can have that as their thing. So yeah, I mean, that one's a bit more of a shooty one with the arrows and stuff. So whether, you could argue that could fit for any
crossover with Sylvan. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, they don't have like a terrible shooting. They've got the Corsairs.
Exactly, yeah.
Are they two shots each?
Yeah, on the
repeater. Yeah, the repeater hand bows.
Yeah, yeah.
Like in terms of that, you can have quite a decent shooting, and it's not like repeater auxiliaries.
Yeah, you got it.
That was it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's easy, this game.
Yeah.
So like in terms of core, especially, you can have quite a lot of like shooting infantry.
Yeah.
And things like that. I think you want to talk about a specific core.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, for the sexiness
with your theme.
factor, for the sexiness factor, you got the blades of Nabbed, if you pronounce that right. I mean, how do you pronounce something with a silent H, or maybe it's not silent?
I'll read it and tell you.
Okay, good. Yeah, you got the other right page.
The blades of Nub.
Exactly, and I mean, they are the ultimate female killers, aren't they? Really, I mean, they used to be the witch elves, and
in terms of core, you've got the Dancers of Yemma that can almost. You could definitely go along the same theme. Like they're the ones that don't have any armor. They're a 4+.
Exactly. It's kind of the opposite to your armored theme, really.
Yeah.
The lack of clothing, obviously, being an issue with armor, because they just don't need it, because they'll strike first and kill you before you get to strike. That's
Well, you could easily. Link that in. You've got harpies as well that could easily link in with your theme.
Yeah, I mean, they were always
like the
crazy,
guys.
like beastly women, weren't they? Who just ripped you apart before you got a chance to do anything. Being thrown to the harpies and stuff like that. So,
yeah, and I guess you could potentially use this. What was the Slanesh? They're probably in the Demons book. The Slanesh Cav.
Pleasure Seekers.
Is it Pleasure Seeker? So you could use them as maybe Dread Knights and things in terms of that. Exactly. I don't know how you'd. I guess it's the armor thing for the Dread Knights is the issue.
But I was thinking like with this image, like the Oracle as well, and the Cult Priests.
Yeah.
Like like they're fearsome, and if you look at them, you're immediately in sort of awe of their alluring beauty, but know that they can kill you in an instant, sort of thing. And I kind of, just to be fair, I thought I'd throw a few men in there as well. So I've ordered my pictures as female and then male, just to even it out.
You've just typed in drow, haven't you?
Well, pretty much. I mean, he's a hunky beast, this one. But yeah, because
if I took off this shirt, they're pretty much. I mean, they're not the ears, obviously.
I don't know.
Lacking the ears. I know. Ears, they're to hide that my muscly ears.
Yeah, but I don't need to, linger on the pictures quite as much now. We're looking at pictures of men, so But yeah, I mean, by the same token, they can be just as deviant as the female Dread
And
Elves,
yeah,
so-
and it's just, I guess it's the lack of armor and like the the buffness and sleekness of
the physique,
them.
you know.
Like yeah, that's the word.
Yeah. Like,
But yeah, you can easily
sort of
I
like
don't know,
the Achilles look sort of thing.
yeah. Do you see many Dances of Yemma on the actual table?
Not that much, I don't think.
I
But
can't.
Dread Elves aren't overly played at the moment. I could be saying something completely wrong there, but a lot of people are waiting for the new book, I think.
Yeah, sure. That is a thing anyway. I think,
Mm.
regardless of whether they were that popular or not.
Yeah.
But perhaps a reason why they jumped the queue, maybe on the old full anime books.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you could easily get a concept army out of that. Medusas could go down that
absolutely,
route.
yeah. I mean, I haven't got pictures of them as such, but they're very much a female mythology thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, and they're sort of like meant to be alluring. You've got sirens as well. They're not actually in the.
You've also got
Dread Elf book as
the
such,
Daughters of Cain range, haven't you, for AOS?
Yeah.
That are all snake-bodied
Yeah.
women.
Yeah, sure. So I think you could get a fair amount of it. The Divine Altar could go with the Sorceress as well.
Exactly. And you've got the blood sacrifice as well, which you also used to have the blood cauldron as well, which is your divine altar, I think it is now, isn't it?
Yeah,
and that sort of thing. Yeah. So there you go. My pictures weren't too bad, were they? But still.
It's not 18 rating anyway.
No, not too bad. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, my search history, if I get that checked out in any time, I'm going to be in a bit of trouble.
Good job we're working from home, eh? Yeah,
I did it all on the work laptop. Yeah.
Is that the same mask that was on the Tooth Fairy?
Yes, it is. It's the exact same one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if
he took her face, yeah.
Yes. You don't get that reference, go and watch Demon Legion.
All right, cool. So yeah, over to you, Gobbo, I believe. Yeah.
Ooh. So we've gone from heavy infantry, all combat based. We've gone in through light infantry, and now we're going to blood magic.
Ooh.
So I think Dread Elves, Dark Elves are basically the purest form of evil.
Right.
So they embody evil. However, they're also elves. So even though this is a Sylvan model, I think you can't class that as good.
No.
Yeah, a little bit scary.
So the using of the blood magic, blood rituals to bind themselves with tree spirits and stuff like that, to make them more fearsome, for example, I think it's a really good idea. So that, again, I don't know what I'd use that as. Probably maybe
that could be a Medusa. Like, to be fair, it could be a Medusa.
It's the same size as a tree man.
Okay, so a little bit bigger.
So we're going to use it as a cauldron, maybe use it as a kraken, or a Hydra. Yeah. But again, it's painted in a nicey way, but actually if you painted it darker, with
or you could have like burnt out trees, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Spider webs, things like that, or just like the darker sort of side of the forest. Again, you couldn't really, if you met him in an alleyway, you wouldn't necessarily think he's going to be good, would you?
No. How wide's the alleyway with those wings?
If I met him in an alleyway, I go, why have you got a massive halberd? We're in an alleyway.
Yeah. Never the fact that he's got wings, Tom.
Well, I mean, how have you managed this?
Yeah. Why have you got a halberd and
I'd maybe
wings?
consider I've got the advantage. Ooh. And then I die. That's what.
So my image for Dark Elves, Dread Elves is, as we say, I think Tolkien, wasn't it? Lord of the Rings was like the orcs effectively are Dark Elves.
Yeah.
So they're not mutilated. What's the word? Corrupted elves.
Yeah.
Hence the picture there, for example. There's a lot more coming in a second, which you can see a bit better. But you are an evil creature. You are the embodiment of evil. Whereas you see like a high elf, for example, as pure, as clean, as white, almost like a virgin, for example, in terms of the way they.
Are they?
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
they're
they
great.
are.
They're the purest form of good.
Here we go.
But
I
that's
like
what they
that,
try to
Ryan.
uphold.
That's yeah. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, right? But they're pretty. I
I'm
like
not
what you're
saying they
saying.
are.
Carry
Oh,
on,
I'm
Gobbo.
pretty
Carry on.
Yeah,
Pretty
Drown him
much,
out.
pretty
Drown
much.
him
But
out.
no, okay, yeah.
Talk over him.
they
Carry on.
believe they are. Yeah. but no.
Agree to disagree, but yeah.
So my thought was again that they'll be using blood magic, sacrifice, doing dark rituals, and I like the occultism side of the Dark Elf book. So again, the sacrificing some of your guys
Yeah, for
to
sure.
get the better. So again, I think having a sorcerer like that chap would be quite cool.
Yeah, I really like the sorcerer, so the sacrifice idea of it.
Yeah.
I think it's pure. It's absolutely them. It's like, well, yeah, we'll kill you because that'll kill them. And
It's
then
like
him going,
willing
yeah, all right, no, that's
sacrifice,
fair.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to die anyway, so I may as well kill him. Yeah, all right.
But I think it the way it's not really put about in the game, but imagine being the one that's chosen.
Yeah.
You're, okay, just to let you know, dagger in the chest.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't think they'd let him know. I just think they'd kill him.
Exactly, that's the point.
He's like,
So again, it's
yeah,
just a
let's
shot.
kill him, boss. Let's kill him, boss.
Yeah.
But again, if you look at him, he is an elf,
Yeah.
but he's not particularly friendly.
Maybe just a bit misunderstood.
Yeah. One of the things that I quite like as well is the dark fairy sort of style. Especially
The
Dread Elves.
fairies.
We like the fairies. Again, the evil elf with the wings, for example, like the almost butterfly wings. Yeah, I think it's a really good aesthetic.
Definitely.
Like very veiny wings, though, as well. Like almost like the
exactly.
see-through with like blood veins or whatever.
Exactly. And again, darker, demonic-looking elves, so corrupted.
Are those
It's
horns
very-
actually like properly attached to their skulls, or are they like headwear?
I think it's their ears.
Yeah.
Is
It's
it?
almost like.
Oh, right. I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, I think. Could be wrong.
Most of
But
the
they're
time,
very-
the horns are straight in there, aren't they?
Yeah. Bone. Yeah.
A very horny video.
Nice.
This is one of the ones from, I think it's God of War.
Yeah, I was going to say, I
So again-
recognise that, yeah.
So again, just pure evil, as opposed to and like like your guys is more of the sleek, slender, attractive sort of
Yeah.
elf. This is just again nightmare elf.
But still, very much the attire is quite important, isn't it?
Yes, it's all to generate fear and terror. I think.
Yeah, terror's more than
Yeah. A couple of concept sketches. So again, like the evil butterfly wings or moth wings, for example, like the death's head moths, and the bony sculptures around their heads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never really considered horns on the Dread Elves, really. Which is a bit weird. I've always considered that as part of their headwear, as opposed to inbuilt.
Yeah, again, dark sacrifice, demonic sort of summonings,
Fair point.
the occult.
Yeah. Well, there you go. My pictures were PC compared to this.
Yeah. They're a little bit woody on.
Oh yeah,
But,
sure, yeah.
50 Shades of Dread Elves, mate.
50 Shades of Green. So again, I know it's wood elves, sylvan, etc., etc. However, it has that fear sort of fey effect.
Yeah, it's definitely
So
fey, isn't it? Yeah.
It's not a friendly face,
No.
Yeah.
which I think, although your guys, they're not necessarily friendly from a personality point of view,
Yeah.
from a physical look point of view, they're still attractive. Whereas my thought is, no, they need to embody evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of like going
And
on
outward
the hag
design.
sort of theme as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, very much so.
Oh, there's your God of War. Yeah.
Yes. Almost like a stag beetle sort of look.
Yeah.
Again, evil fairy sort of style. But again,
Oh yeah. He's nasty. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you would just be. You saw that coming through the forest. If you're not running, you should be.
Yeah.
Or in your alleyway, lucky sixes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that one probably has
There's
more chance of dealing with you.
Well, I mean, maybe if on a good day, right?
It depends if you've got that 6 of Aegis, doesn't it?
Exactly. If the wind's in his direction, yeah.
Yeah. We can all have things going for us. Can't we?
So my thought from a model point of view was to use a lot of the Dryad models, a lot of the new versions of the Sylvaneth, in combination with some of the wings, and try to make them horrific.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Are you kind of like saying about, as well as the occult and everything, they're sort of cursed, as in they're getting mutated by their
corrupted,
evil thoughts? Yeah, corrupted, yeah.
Yeah, so there may have been good elves once, or there may have been wood elves.
Yeah.
But however,
deformed
demonic summonings, blood sacrifice, and stuff like that, they have become the embodiment of evil.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of that leathery effect as well, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, like, in terms of units as well, like they could be easily a different concept of Blades of Nab, can they?
Definitely.
No armor, but loads of attacks. They got poison attacks as well, so it's very. You could easily mesh that in and almost have like all the spikes and talons could be like not the poison wouldn't actually have to be direct poison, but could be auras around them to make them poisonous.
Yeah,
exactly. Or again, you could just do like thorns and barbs and things like the natural poisons.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, same principle. We've got poison there, like a centipede thing.
Yeah.
But again, it's supposed to be a Sylvan, a wood elf, but actually painted in a different manner, that could be almost demonic.
Yeah.
So again, an evil.
Yeah,
look at them
bursting out of the trees. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So again, like the blood sacrifice, molding your spirit with trees and demons and things like that. So it's again painted with like the black skin, like some of the photos we've seen a second ago.
Mm-hmm.
It would give the horror effect. I think anyway.
Yeah, man.
Just the smiles. And these are the new Idoneth models.
Yeah.
From Games Workshop, and then I'm not sure if you haven't realised, but they don't have eyes, so they just have sockets
on purpose. That's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, they're blind, so they can't see. So they use
probably still hit on a 2-up.
Probably.
Yeah.
With a reroll.
Yeah, it's like True Sight or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it makes some good like Raven cloaks here, wouldn't they?
Exactly. And then like characters there. Yeah. So you got the big glaives, you got the vines coming out of them. Again, they're supposed to be sylvan and good, but they don't look or give off the aura of good, in my opinion.
No, absolutely.
They're corrupt.
Yeah.
I think with the sylvan stuff is that everything, the actual bodies you see there are just spirits, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think, from what I've done that. So like. And so once the spirits goes, there's just like branches.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, as you say, it's an obvious trees thing, but easily can be demonic and mutations and the cult, like they've been cursed and things like that. So, all right, Diablos.
Yeah. Yeah, waiting for a picture of that. Ooh.
Yeah, just scary elf.
I guess dread is in the name, isn't it? So
yeah, I quite like the idea of like the scars and stuff as like details and like on purpose. So like not unlike Black Panther when the baddie has all them scars on him.
Yeah, like self-inflicted.
Like sort of thing. So like they've self-mutilation to cause even more dread and things. Because it doesn't matter, because I'm going to get killed in a minute anyway.
Like each mark on their body is an achievement, almost.
Yeah. If you imagine the tree wraith things we had a second ago, like bursting out the tree, but painted like that.
Yeah.
So you have the branch part of the dryads, and also have that part there.
You could probably. I don't think it'd take too much, would it, to like make a lot of the stuff on the branches and stuff be like the rags.
Yeah.
Right. As well, rather than branch parts to be like things that are holding it all together on the like almost like all the supports and stuff.
So again, that's one of the wings that I thought. So it's like a corrupted vine sort of vein, as opposed to like a normal wing. So again, things like that on the back of some of the tree wraiths and stuff like that. Again, it would be Dread.
You almost want the wings to be non-functional. They're that corrupted. Like they're almost displayed wings as opposed to wings you fly with. You know, they're so corrupted that they can't actually fly with them. But they're just a feature of Dread.
Yeah, they are the armor, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the new IDNF as well. So again, I thought the armor, if you wanted to do a more nautical sort of version of it, again, they look evil again.
Yeah, I think that is a part of it. I read somewhere that I think the Dread
they're soul stealers. I think,
yeah. So I think there is going to be some sort of nautical.
They used to have the Black Arcs, didn't they? So and the slavery side of things.
I don't think that's too far off what actually might progress out of the fluff of the Dread Elves. Actually, that might be you heard it here first from Gobbo sort of thing.
So
in black and white is just a fearsome, isn't
black
it?
and white.
Yeah.
It's very voodoo looking, isn't it?
Yeah, that goes along with the cult and the horns and stuff for sure. Yeah, so in terms of, so we've done a lot of like what concepts and things. In terms of the actual army list and things that you come up against with with Dread Elves, what things you see quite a lot. I'd say probably see that Divine Altar in a unit of infantry, so quite a lot.
Normally the executioners, isn't it? Or the
or even the spears.
Yeah, because spears are Ninth Age, aren't they?
Pretty much.
Spears are and everything. So oracles, obviously, they've got some really interesting items actually.
Yeah. They got the familiar as well, which I think may be going. I don't know.
Well, it's so paramount with the armies at the minute. Iconic is what I mean. Yeah. That I don't know whether it will go or it will just change. Because it is really good. The Wandering Familiar, but it goes along with your magic thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So the main thing that I face is the mass avoidance. So all Dark Riders, all repeated bolt throwers, just
which I think is odd because of the high agility. You know, I think mass avoidance is really under. It ignores the high agility because I mean, you're like, there's a lot of agility 5, agility 6 models in that army, and if you're avoiding people, you're not getting anything from agility. I just find that odd. No. But I'm not a Dread Elf player, and
you just use all six turns. Like for example, the game I played recently, just where the Thunderers took off 3 questing knights. If you did that with, so I think there was a list that I made. You could have, I think it was 76 shots a turn.
Yeah.
And you are just going to gradually, you just never get into combat. You will just become apart.
And that's something I've heard from a lot of Dread Elf players actually, is that the whole concept of them and the infantry and stuff like that as well, that you do see them going around. You almost don't see what that concept actually is of getting into combat and killing and stuff, because you just don't get there. And because a lot of it is combat infantry, right? The only, I guess the chariots are pretty good, but res 5 for the most part, but the chariots are never grindy, really. They don't have enough attacks, and even the Raptor Riders, who are decent and all strength 4, load of attacks, whatever, but just don't. They're cav, so they don't grind, so they don't really have that grindy unit.
No.
So if anything, can almost withstand, like probably more so than any other elf. If you don't whack out, like, I shouldn't say that. If you don't like smash out, it really is getting saucy, isn't it? If you don't smash out a unit in one, you count your unit gone almost.
Absolutely, yeah.
But then, especially if they're only twice the price.
Yeah, right. Because
cost,
but have you seen some of the spoilers for the Dread Elf stuff? There's that one I can't remember the name of him, and it really should have for this, but it's like a combat character, and it just looks brutal. It's got like 6 attacks basic, with like and it's and like looking at things like you can get easily quite like high strength or poison, or like, so there's a few little different options in it, and it looked brutal. It looked really cool actually, and so I think what they might end up doing. As a joke, because again, we could go through this list, the army book, but it will change very pretty much by the time you are watching this. So, but yeah, I guess the idea I think is they're going to go right. If we get into combat, we will smash the chisel out of you. Yeah. These things are good, and I think there's going to be a few more items that are.
There might be more items that protect them, so that they can get into combat.
Maybe, but at the same, I think there'll be extreme items. So there'll be either high protection or, you know, how we've got 8 attacks. Well, we double the amount of attack. Yeah, that sort of thing.
I think it'd be more glass cannon. So when you go in, and you do so much damage, they just cannot survive it.
Yeah.
But none of us are on that team, so we are just speculating, aren't we? So
but overall, pretty good magic, and good options there. I like the we haven't sort of mentioned the Pegasus Lord either, who's pretty. So got the Flying Lord on that.
Well, that's another version of the corruptness, isn't it? Because you know, like you've got the Pegasus in the Equitane, and then you got the Pegasus in the Dread Elves. It's just like, how's that work? But it's the corrupt side of Equitane in that sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and I think, for the most part, the actual model itself is exactly the same in terms of stats, but it's again, you just put a couple of horns on it, and you got a Dread Elf one. Again, I mentioned it earlier, but the Chariots one is something. The Chariot spam is something that's very doable with the Dread Elves as well. They've got a few different.
Would you go the Raptor one, or would you go the Hunting Chariot?
Bit of both.
Well, yeah, I think you can go both because Frodo uses that quite a bit, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. Although don't come up against alchemy.
Don't start.
But it is true. Like that's where almost like the armor comes in and the maneuverability. Because even though it's a chariot, I think they're both like 9, are they? But they're decent. They're high movement chariots, and with the hunting chariot having a bit of shooting. You could probably top that up with some Dread Reapers as well. Not that I would, but but yeah, and then you sort of start developing that again, that avoidance or multi-charging MSU sort of army going down that route as well. But I do quite like the idea of if they can get back to a thing of having mainly infantry and a few army pieces, that would be pretty sweet.
See, for me as well, now a unit we haven't mentioned is the Acolytes. I quite like them as a unit as well. I know that if I played them, I would have that unit as a theme as well.
They're again magic-y, aren't they?
Have that bit crazy magic warlocks almost, you know.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you could easily see that going through as a theme, as like the attunement to magic. Yeah.
So these concepts obviously apply to any book, new or not. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there might be a unit or two added for something, because they did that with the Infernal Dwarfs, didn't they? And obviously, the the Demons book changed completely. So you'd expect a few name changes and some new units. I wouldn't expect too many things to be taken out.
No, they might just be adapted.
Other than items and things. Don't get used to those items in the near future. But yeah, so I guess that's it really on the Dread Elf front. I'll sum up then. If you guys enjoyed this, we hope you did. Let us know, as always, your concepts and things, because I'm quite enjoying the last couple, actually seeing everybody else's things. And I know Mr. Mertens for the Beast Herds specifically gave us loads of insights. So things like that, guys. Really like reading after this, so it gives a bit of an exit route to the thing, and perhaps gives us some more topics to talk about when we do round 2 of all the army books.
Yeah.
One of the things that I do want to add to there as well is that if you've done armies that look like this or act like this, we'd love to see them.
Absolutely.
We'd love to get involved and we'd love to comment on them.
Yeah.
So please get in touch.
I know that Nemeroth has a lot of very good-looking Dread Elves, so
yeah,
he did my studio.
Sure.
So
So keep those comments coming in. Get in touch with us about those sorts of things. As always, and anything, if you've got any pointers on things you want us to specifically look at for the armies coming up, and spoiler, it's in alphabetical order, so you do the math. I don't know, sort of. But otherwise, like, share, subscribe. Check the description if you want to get in touch with us. Obviously, we have our resident artiste here.
No, not thumbs down there.
Yeah, who can and has embodied some of these ideas in real life. So if you want a Drow army or mainly Sylvan Elf, if he loves,
he loves his Sylvan Elves. Every army chat is a picture of Sylvan Elves. So we'll get to them eventually. When we get to Sylvan Elves, there won't be any pictures of Sylvan Elves.
They won't actually.
It's just antelope. But
that's my
do that.
Army.
Yeah. But
it's my dwarf army, man. You've stolen it.
I'm actually really looking forward to dwarves. I've got some kick-ass. But
I don't get to put half-naked ladies in my armies anymore. I'm done.
No, and if you do, they're covered with beards anyway. You've got that to look forward to, guys. But do tune in for our other army chats. Yes, and obviously check out all our other videos and things. We've got Gobbo's doing some painting tutorials and showcases to give off some ideas and some ways to do your bases and do your models and things like that. So thanks for watching, and it's goodbye from me.
Bye.
See you soon.
See you later, folks.